We're in the losers bracket. The cup continues, our Korea Cup. So hosted on the Asian server, we have in the losers bracket now Team 00 going up against Flying Tech Ho. And I think still that this is a bit of an inside joke because one of their players is literally called Tech. But yeah, we saw both of the teams obviously in the winner bracket, and now they face off in a best of 3 series here in the losers bracket. So it's the Healing Cup, Korean tournament, 3,500 euros and prize money. And a double elimination system with 8 teams in total. We already went through the winners bracket. We had some awesome games there, and now we are continuing. Actually quite happy that I can catch these games live because I'm not going to be able to do that for all the matches. So guys, if at any point you're watching a game where there is no draft attached to it, I casted it from replays. Probably on the same day that they were played, but, well, there is quite a time difference, and it's sometimes a little bit tricky. I mean, it's like Monday at noon now, so thankfully I'm in a position where I now can cast this, so we'll see which team moves towards the next round of the losers bracket. But it has been a pretty interesting tournament. Obviously, there's also a lot of one-sided matches, but even in some of the games that had a very one-sided score, we've seen a lot of back and forth happening here. And the series that were probably the most interesting to me was Team Beast Titan against C8. Now, you can't really rely on a lot of the team names here, but in case that you missed the games, Team Beast Titan has players like Capybara in it, so very strong players indeed, and C8 should actually ring a bell for at least the viewers that watched the previous Korean tournaments that we had, so always have to contextualize this a little bit. The draft pattern of Korea continues, so we see Vala banned again, and this is probably the biggest change between the Western meta and the Asian meta right now, because at this point Vala has been, I think, consistently banned in every single game. And it's one of the interesting points because whenever you see an international clash happening, the last time, of course, at the Nations Cup earlier this year in Berlin, the Koreans are like, why are you letting Vala through? What's happening here? Like, why do you don't respect that? And for the Europeans, it's the exact opposite. Like, most of them are totally happy to let Vala through the draft, at least the first ban phase. And she can be quite strong, of course, especially with the double support. You have Uther as a main tank, doubling as a second support, bringing Vala in, trying to get the auto attack damage through. But nowhere in the European and North American scene is Vala highlighted as much as she is in the Eastern meta. So yeah, Diablo gets picked as the first character here. And again, also quick note, if you guys have not watched the tournament at the beginning of the yet, the Nations Cup, you really have to check it out. So this goes out to everybody watching this on YouTube in particular. There is a playlist on my YouTube channel. It was by far the best tournament in the last 5-6 years in Heroes of the Storm. Offline event with international teams in Berlin. We had a big crowd there as well, multiple casters from all over. So great production, and if you haven't seen those games yet, check the playlists out. You're not going to regret it. It was some of the best Heroes of the Storm content in the past few years, for sure. But again, either way, we got Lucio and we have Li Ming for Battlefield of Eternity. So yeah, Li Ming always able to poke down the Immortal slowly and steadily. Whereas for the red team, we get Hogger and Genji. Now, if this was a European game, I would immediately think about Anduin and banning him out. Diablo and Genji together can really wreak havoc, and Diablo can be so much more aggressive if Anduin is there to pull him back out if he's in trouble. Then you have the light bomb engage with Genji. Technically, you can also use the same strategy, of course, with Diablo, and we have seen that in the past. I mean, hell, we've even seen Hogger Horde pulled with Light Bomb Engage, so maybe not the combo that you see the most, but there is a lot that can be done here. Question is simply, is the red team going to value this highly enough to pick Anduin for themselves, or are they going to go down a different path with this? Sylvanas gets banned over Anduin, Murden is out too, but currently I kind of like what the red team is running here. 0-0. Had a fairly decent showing in the winner bracket on the other hand, so I wouldn't count them out. I mean, again, game 1 hasn't even started yet. Wouldn't count them out just yet, but yeah. So we'll see. Also, found my Khaldor cup again, my Khaldor mug. It got kind of lost when I moved to the new apartment at the beginning of April. And yeah, finally found it again. It's one of my favorites there. If you guys want to check it out, there's a link in the description to the shop as well. And, well, we get a panda again. So, Greymane and Chen. It actually reminds me a little bit that the last time that we had this, I believe it was Anduin with the bubble on level 10 against Chen, which was a bit wild because it was just continuous interrupts happening with the top kick plays. Jimmy is again getting picked early here. We've already seen that once in the winner bracket, so yeah, Exterminator as an option. The last time they didn't even go for Exterminator, they went instead into Ace in the hole. And here's Malfurion over Anduin now for the support. Alright. Chen can still kick him away, but it's not as interruptible. And that leaves us with the final pick here. So let's see what we're going to get. Blue team in this first map of the best of 3. Again, with a bit more frontline. Chen main tank, side laner. We've seen both in the tournament. So what's it going to be? I mean, they're hesitating a bit, and okay, we get him as a side laner. Anubarak is the main tank. Battlefield of Eternity, everybody. Game number 1, Flying Techo against Team 0-0 here at the Healing Cup. Okay, here we are, Battlefield of Eternity. We have Greymane and Li Ming for damage on the side of the blue team, so a lot of poke from Li Ming that can likely then result in Greymane coming in for the final blow, getting a kill. At the front line, Anubarak and Chen are building the duo, so a lot of dive potential that we see from the blue team, and Lucio is there to back all of this up for the team on the left. Over on the right, we got Flying Techo with Hogga and Diablo as their front line. Hogga, of course, taking the side lane here. Tech on Malfurion. We got Genji and we got Jimmy. And this time it is indeed Exterminator. It was always a little bit weird when they picked the last time Ace in the hole. To the day, I don't know exactly if that was a mispick. But given the map and the pick priority, I guess we can more or less safely assume that it probably was. Maybe somebody got a little bit too twitchy on their fingers and then hit the wrong button there. But either way, the idea is obviously take down the Immortal as quickly as they can. Jimmy can do a great job on this, but down at the bottom of the map there's a bit of an imbalance that has been created by Genji following Hogga to the top lane. Chance for the blue team to be a bit aggressive here. And I don't think they can do a whole lot here. Of course. Oh, Chen is actually jumping in. Okay, given the fact that Genji was still missing, I would have thought that Chen is going to play this a bit more cautious, but far from it. So he jumps in straight away. Genji is now showing himself, but that also is still giving the blue team a lot of options down at the bottom of the map that they're immediately using to start attacking here. Now that the 1 minute mark has passed, they can also go for the camp, so it seems that we're going to see this 2-3 split continue from the red team for a bit longer. Whole idea being, of course, that they give up one camp at the bottom of the map, but they're still able to grab another one all the way up at the top, which is exactly what we're seeing here. So far so good. Bit of early game skirmish here, as mentioned before. Again, this loser bracket, so with the best of 3 series in our hands, if you lose here, you are out of the tournament, and the winner will move on to have another chance here to slowly edge their way forward towards the grand final potentially. So we'll see if one of the teams is able to pull that off. But the poke is there, and this wall is about to be gone, and if you compare that to what's happening up at the top side, well, it is quite clear that the blue team is definitely doing more damage. And that's now the cue for Genji to come down, say hello real quickly, but the wall is already gone. So the entire wall has been destroyed, and now they can even try and start pressuring that fort a bit. With level 4 abilities, we're getting now the Triumvirate, we have Off the Wall, the usual talents to be taken, whereas Jimmy has decided to go into the fight or flight. There's nothing crazy that's really happening here. First objective is going to be announced in another 5 seconds, and then we'll see if Jimmy can turn the tides of all of this by locking down the Immortal for the red team. They really got to do something on that account, but yeah, time will tell if they're actually able to pull that off now. There's a lot of dive happening with the blue team in particular. I think we're going to see that more so after level 10. But you could very much so make Jimmy's life and Malfurion's life a living hell. So that's probably what we're going to see there later. They are prime targets for the attacks that are likely to come. But objective's going to pop up in a moment. Jimmy, for a second, looking like he might deal with the camp first. But yeah, so they're going to try and lock this down. Both teams are pretty much racing, and Greymane is a huge asset to have for a team. But since they are being contested here, We have Jimmy still taking a bit of a lead for that, aren't they? Yeah, they're slightly ahead, but they're also losing some hit points on their fort. The problem for them was simply that the entire wall was already taken out, whereas up at the top it's much easier for them to defeat this. One tower is still standing. Some structures obviously have been lost there too, but the bottom fort is under even more pressure now as Genji rejoins the team. And they're really trying to take this one, but Jimmy, he's just coming and completely melts this one apart. So they win the Immortal, but they lose well, hello? They don't lose Malfurion. What? ¿Qué pasa? What's happening here? Are you joking? The old geezer gets out. Look at that. Yeah. And instead, it might be Chen that falls. Yes, he's dead. At least Diablo is also eliminated, but they're losing Lucio on the retreat. So now it's a 2-1 trade in favor of the red team, who already got the Immortal and is busy down at the bottom of the map. So 2 kills against 2. Bit wild there. I think the coordination could have been better against Malfurion, and if he falls, then this is a completely different story. Attacking without sustain, without a support is always dicey, but, well, Malfurion stayed alive, so no problem for him. They are at least burning the Immortal down quickly, so they're not taking too much damage here. And up at the top, Hogger still spinning this one out. Chen has now started to take care of the lane, get the experience, and grab everything. But it's a pretty interesting early game. It's fairly even up to this part. Level 10 abilities will change the dynamic very quickly, or so I'd assume. But now with them grabbing a camp at the bottom of the map, there's also a chance to maybe pressure enough to take down this fort. Since topside Hogger and Genji are still MIA, both of them have been busy taking the camp here, so there's a bit of freedom for the blue team to do damage. And Diablo is already trying to zone them out at the front, soak some of that damage too. With Genji arriving and at least trying to come in here for the side, they need to be careful how deep they go so that they don't fall into a trap. Particularly considering that Hogger is now also coming down to the bottom of the map. So yeah, that's another one. But that allows Chen to defeat the camp at the top and just deal with this entire top lane situation. But the teams haven't really gotten to a point yet where we've seen one massively explosive team fight or a big lead established for one team through a team battle or anything else. So even with the Immortal claimed for the red team, they weren't able to do a whole lot with it. And on kills, they are just dead even. So level 10 abilities will come up next. Chen at the top, totally fine here. Has to go up against 2, but he survives this one easily. Hogger is the one with 10k damage for the red team. But this Genji rotation towards the top is not really as beneficial as they would probably like. Instead, they are always giving up ground at the bottom of the map, since there's a numbers advantage for the opponent. And that's continuously getting used to bring this keep closer and closer to destruction. But they haven't been able to completely pull that off yet. Now, Jimmy has to go in position for the Immortal again. Greyman is already in Worgen form and is doing his thing. But once that Jimmy is starting to join the fight, this is where he's just melting this bad boy down. Jimmy is just fantastic on Immortals. It's absolutely great. Has a lot of problems, though, in team fights than later. With good positioning, can make up for some of it. But when he gets attacked, he is just having a rough time because of his lack of mobility to get out of fights. It could still be a victory for the blue team, though, and yep, they get it. So 4,000 hit points left on the shield. And they're going to get level 10. They even have a tiny window, but yeah, no. So off we go. We have Go for the Throat as a level 10 ability, Reyna's Raiders, and the top keg plays for the Panda. Oh yeah, we're only going top shelf here. Wandering Keg is going to be in the house and very likely going to be used to push Malfurion out once that he uses his own ult. At least if they got the patience for this. But Chen is currently still down at the bottom of the map. So it's a 5-man defense for the red team. And they will not lose a lot here. Bit of damage going to be done to the fort. They lost the wall, of course. And Chen can now push for the bottom fort instead. And Hogger is now moving in, but he might be a little bit too slow to really make a difference there. Yeah, Chen is already on it, so well, I'm not quite sure if you can call this on it. He jumps in and then realizes, well, maybe I should fall back slightly because they're already rotating my way. So yeah, they are not able to take down that fort, not even close. Genji is now still screwing around a little bit over here, not doing too much either, but yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. That, on the other hand, is nice. Great lockdown, and Li Ming gets the reset, gets the kill in the reset. The camp still taken by the red team, so they were able to take the Khaldor. But now it's again a numbers advantage for Team 0-0 and a chance to take this fort out, as Chen has already transitioned towards the top lane and is doing his thing right there. First fort of the game destroyed now, so job well done. And with that, let's see if they can now capitalize on that half-level lead that they got thanks to that. And of course thanks to the rotation that they executed earlier. So 3 kills to 2. We got a level 12 already in play for them. No talents yet, but we're slowly getting there. And yeah, towards the top there's another camp that they're trying to claim. And that they will. Hoga goes for a spin by. Cocoon is in. They're really trying to force this one. They want to go for Jimmy, but the Keck play also doesn't properly hit. That's a lot of ults that were just used by the blue team with very little value to show for it. And if they now lose a Nubarak too, then it would be an absolute disaster. And Nubarak jumps in, commits honorable Sudoku since he dives straight into the lightning breath. And after him committing Subaru, this means that they are now down 1 tank, and this opens up a big opportunity for the red team to take Immortal number 3, despite the fact that the blue team has taken a lead in experience. But you can see that this is getting quite tricky for them. So already Immortal at the halftime, and that's looking really good now. So big exchange in objectives actually. First one taken by the red team, afterwards the blue team responding in kind, taking their own, and now with them not even trying to defend over here, there's very little doubt on how this battle is going to end, unless they're starting to commit in a few more resources to it. But still seems good. Diablo actually gets attacked and stunned out, so nice to see Chain against him. Dibbles still alive, Li Ming hoping for damage and resets. Can't get them just yet. Immortal still low, and Hoga's trying to seal the deal, but Diablo goes down. Ooh, maybe the blue team is saving this one after all. They're trying, and they're doing well on this. And Hoga falls too, so it's a 5 versus 3. Damn. Not bad. So seems like they might just be able to turn this one around. Jimmy cannot go anywhere near this, and he knows it too. And now that Li Ming and Greymane are both working in tandem to take the Immortal down, the blue team is all of a sudden the one to get a second objective. So yeah, nicely done. Good job. Level 13 on both sides at least, so for the defense play it's going to be quite comfortable. But we have 18,000 damage as the top damage for Jimmy. We have currently 14,000 for Genji. And then you compare that over to what Li Ming is bringing to the table with the 31,000. Greymane on 26k. I mean, there's really numbers coming through now for Team 0-0, and it's something that they just don't have. So things are looking fairly decent in game number 1 for Team 0-0. It's still kind of even. The advantages are small, but they're adding up since the bottom fort has already been destroyed. This one is now falling too. So both forts are gone, and more map presence is getting established by Team 0-0. So it might be a slow progress, but it's definitely going one way in particular. And with the entire level lead on experience too, it starts to become dangerous. Pretty dangerous. That level 16 talent is no joke. And once that you have it, if that coincides with the next objective, or if you can force a fight around the camp with it, then yeah, that would be of course the dream here. But then again, seems like for now the red team is fully aware of that too, so they're going straight for the camps and they're saying like, you know what boys, right now we have even talent, so let's try and force this a little bit, get some camps, try and close the experience gap, just be the active ones on the map and then deal with it from there. And seems like 0-0 is also trying to take their own camp very, very early right now. Genji at the top, looking for a few more waves. Trying to play through this one too. And to be fair to them, they closed the gap at least a little bit, so it's not too bad. Genji double checking what's happening up at the top, but nobody has gone for this one yet. Now that his team rotates in, they can be the ones to grab them. And at the bottom of the map, they could take another minion wave out, which is exactly what we're seeing now from Li Ming, to make sure that these shamans are going to do a bit more work and can be more aggressive. Level 16 talents, they're in. And with that, we now get them with a big lead, of course. Immortal in 30 seconds, I mean, this is definitely a lot of time where you can bridge that gap, and the red team should be able to get quite close, if not actually lock it in. So, good for them. But the bigger question is just simply how is that next fight going to pan out? That's going to be the big one. Because this Immortal could technically decide the game. Maybe not quite, but you know what I mean. If they are able to get the Immortal and they get, let's say, a kill, they could try and take the first keep out, and that would put them pretty firmly into the driver's seat. And yeah, they're playing around this, of course. But now, with everybody up on the map and 16 so close, the red team, they are going even on the halftime show. A small lead for the blue team, but nothing too crazy. And here's level 16, which gives us immediately Paint 'em Red. And we also get the headbanger. So they're trying to poke this one out. Li Ming is, of course, fantastic in a situation like this. Can poke from a distance with one ability after another, particularly now that on 16 she picked up Mirror Ball. Genji started to move in from the side, but there is now a significant lead for them. Cocoon used to counter Tranquility immediately, and Jimmy is completely on the wrong side of this fight. Yeah, somebody needed to install Google Maps on his phone because he definitely didn't know where to go. He definitely took a wrong turn there at some point. But yeah, Jimmy down. That's one of your main damage healers gone, especially against the Immortal. They don't even care about Genji, who's trying to lock it in on the left side. Instead, we have the attack coming. The Immortal has been taken, and this is looking very good. If they can get another kill, it would look even better. They're trying to go for Hogger, and damn, he barely makes it out of the fight. Good for him escaping here, but that was a very close call. And the Immortal will travel down to the bottom of the map, but to the top, even this wall has already been softened up a little bit. Whereas down at the bot lane, they can now at least take the catapults out before Team 0-0 arrives for the next big push here. Diablo about to be done with his stacks on souls again. But the damage output in particular, I mean, Dibbles is top damage right now for the red team. That's where we're at. He's top damage on the red team side. Jimmy comes in second. Hogger third. Genji a distant fourth. So, yeah. But here comes the attack. Game's not over yet, but that one level lead is still persisting. So they're trying to come in again. Diablo looking for the target. Here, Tranquility already used very early. Cocoon could be used against him, but they don't even bother. No real reason to right now. And the keep is gone. The keep gone, and now the Keck plays. They're looking for more. They're looking for Jimmy once again, trying to capitalize on his lack of mobility. It is Li Ming that falls, Lucio that dies, and then finally we have also Jimmy and also Greymane obliterated. The Panda becomes the next target, and that is 4 heroes down. Comeback, baby! Oh yeah! They're going for the comeback in this one, and damn son, some seriously nice plays. If Jimmy dies there first and Genji doesn't get the kill together with Hogger on Li Ming, then it's a different story, but 4 kills against 1 at the end of the battle. More than a good trade for the red team. Structurally, though, they've really been put in a very awkward position. They've lost 2 forts and a keep, and trying to recover from this is going to be extremely difficult. With a bit of momentum, they might be able to take one of the forts out. An early level 20 could help them to get an objective. And of course, as they scale into the late game, maybe there is still something, some hope for them that they could use now. But it is still fairly dangerous what's happening here from their perspective. But again, they got some momentum. They brought it back. They closed the experience gap. They have a bit of momentum now. Immortals are spawning in another 20. It's a 5 versus 5 on the map. And the question is just now simply, what exactly can they do from here on out? They take a camp, slightly ahead in XP. Nothing too crazy. Nothing that should really matter over the next Immortal. But at least they will fight with 20 talents on each side. But they haven't taken a fort down yet. They regained some map control. They regained a chance to fight for the next one. But they still have to win the next battle. So that fight at the bot lane was pretty much just their ticket back into the game. And they're here now. But who is going to win the halftime show? So it seems like the blue team is losing their Immortal a little bit quicker. And it is insanely close. I mean, damn. The last Immortal was already nearly dead even around the halftime. Now we have the same situation again. They're going for Chen at the bottom of the map a little bit. Keep in mind, those level 20 talents are soon going to pop up. So everything that you use right now, you would love to hold back just a bit longer to get into a good spot here. But the red team is about to lose their Immortal unless Jimmy is absolutely beasting it now and he just doesn't have the output by himself. They couldn't distract them enough on the left side, so it is indeed the blue team that gets another Immortal. It's a very small shield that they have, But there is, of course, now another opportunity to take yet again a structure out on the red team side. And this could then, yeah, if they lose the last keep, how do you recover from that? Pretty much impossible, honestly. Unless you get a full 5-man wipe or something. But there's a level 20 talents now for both teams. We get the Raiders roll for Jimmy. Everything else pretty much standard. The untapped potential is also there. So Chen going for even more top shelf play. And he's still at the bottom of the map, escorting Catapult slowly towards the core. But yeah, with the shield gone on the Immortal at the top lane push, they should still be able to take this keep out, especially with Chen joining the fun. Just need to create a little bit more space, and they're closing in on that. So yeah, there's the keep gone, and that is of course spelling disaster now. All the structures gone, not a single fort destroyed on the red team side. Chen with the top kick plays right here, right now. Hogger with no control, just spinning, spinning, spinning. And they still try to get that kill, and Anubarak is alive! He's actually alive! He made it out! Even the X-Strike couldn't get him. The resets and cooldown reduction are coming through for Genji, but they just cannot get that kill. They were hoping to drop the main tank, and they just couldn't. That might have turned things around for them, but they will suffer on every single lane from here on out, and it is becoming a huge problem for them, of course. So what can you do if you are on the red team now? You can try to move through, get some camps, force a fight, but the core is already losing shields. These catapults are going to become stronger as the game continues, and now the 20-minute mark, it's already rough. Genji with really nice cooldown resets too, but it's just, or cooldown reduction at least, but it's not enough to win them that fight, even with that choke point position that he found himself in. So they can't waste time. This has to be a very decisive battle from the perspective of the red team now. They're just out of time. Catapults are going to push against their core. There's a catapult with every single wave. They have no counter pressure whatsoever. So if you want to have a chance here, then the only thing that you can really do is try and go for the decisive battle and somehow bring it back. In deaths and kills, they are even. Question is just simply what are you going to do with it? Malfurion, by the way, is the only one that hasn't died yet in the entire game. Which is kind of fascinating, honestly. I mean, the team is named after him, so now you know why. But still, that he hasn't fallen against Nubarak diving for him, Chen jumping in and others, is quite something. He was close once, but got out of the fight. So yeah, Immortal is going to get attacked in a second. First they want to go for their camp, create more pressure on the lane that will eventually force the red team back to defend. They're not here yet. But now that they are trying to go for a move, again, they know that they're going to run out of time eventually. But they push the lanes out nicely, so that bought them some time at least. Here's the barbecue play, and Lucio gets out. X-Strike being used here too. This time he didn't get a lot of cooldown reduction for his efforts, so that's not too shabby. With Lucio getting back to full HP slowly but steadily, that's something that they can't play around with. The halftime show, on the other hand, goes over to the team in red. Diablo, he has the soul stacks, but can they get a kill? Oh, Anubarak, careful. This game isn't over yet. I mean, there is a team that has a significant lead, but it's... no, it might be over. Caster Curse is hitting right away, and it's hitting hard. So, there we go. That one's already done. Now they go for Anubarak, though, and he is still alive and then dies eventually. The Summer Anthem over there helping out initially, but it was just not enough to keep him in play for all that long. So both teams have now lost one of their heroes. The problem is simply that these lanes are becoming more and more of an issue. Catapults are coming in. The red team has to retreat, has to deal with it, which buys Greymane and Li Ming some time to reduce the hit points on this one. Now Jimmy is still likely, with the help of Diablo, to win this one for the team unless they come in and force them back, which is actually what they're doing right now. But they gotta deal with Jimmy. It's not so much Chen that's a problem, it's Jimmy more so than anything else, and they want the kill, and they might get it. The problem is that they're losing the Immortal in the process. And they can't get either! They don't get the Immortal and they don't get Jimmy. I mean, honestly, that's a lost opportunity, but they also forced them back, and now that Koa is losing to the Winions. And I think this might be game. All they gotta do is right-click the Koa. Where's the blue team? What are you doing? It's 7%. Just right-click it. What are you doing? Why are you on the left side? What is this? Boys, what the hell? Not like this. This was the opportunity right there to end it. Oh god, I think they realized too late how much damage was being done there. But now it's 7% on the core, and yep, that is annoying as hell, I'd say. They could have ended it there easily. Chen is the one to come in. The big fat panda, the big fat panda, is moving in. Fat Illidan wants the victory, and he's just like, I got this, boys. And you know what? He does. That's game. Game number 1 goes to Team 0-0 as they take the lead in this losers bracket match at the Healing League. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Map number 2. We're on Towers of Doom now with the blue team taking the lead there. A little bit of a frustrating end towards game number 1. It seemed they totally miscalculated how much damage those Winions would do. I didn't realize that they could just right-click the core, but Chen then took care of it. So now the team has taken the lead. We're going into Towers of Doom as our second map, which again is also match point. So here in the losers bracket of the event we have best of 3 series again. And yeah, if they take another victory, blue team that is, then they can go. Interestingly enough, they have they have first pick, first ban. So it seems that Flying Techo went into map choice, which is fairly surprising to me, honestly. Normally, what you have is that you are leaning heavily into first pick, first ban instead. But yeah, time will tell. Vala's still getting banned, so there's nothing that changes that. They really, really love her as a choice and as a damage dealer. I would love to see her at some point in the tournament, honestly, but at least up to now, everybody just said like, yeah, no, Vala is out. She's way too OP. It's really that difference between metas is so interesting to me. Jimmy now also being played multiple times in Battlefield of Eternity. Now you can of course always argue that in the past that has been the case in Europe as well, but that was a long time ago too, and meta has changed significantly since then. Now Jimmy is becoming fodder. His problem is still mobility. It's the biggest issue. He's great against the Immortal when he's alone there, as you could see, but the second that he gets attacked and isolated, he's just toast. So Sylvanas gets also banned out. Sergeant Hammer is another hero that we have seen pretty much not at all. So on the European side, Hammer is always a bit of a concern. We've seen lately Vikings picking up a bit more, not only in Towers, but also on Cursed, on Dragonshire. Not so much here. But who knows? Maybe we're gonna see something similar. Because for now it's just time to get picking. And again, also noteworthy, Lucio, once again, not banned. So, yeah, he's up for grabs. Can be taken here. I talked about it a bit earlier. There's like no ban rules or anything. Oh, Tychus first pick. Yeah, it's another one. The priority that Tychus has for a lot of these teams is just nuts. He's falling off in Europe more and more and more. If so, you're seeing him maybe on Infernal Shrines for the additional support with Odin. But yeah, nowhere near what we're seeing here for the Koreans. So yeah, they go Tychus. I would still love to see Lucio. Dehaka, Lucio, no matter what you want to do, a little bit more of mobility in place that you can execute there would be kind of nice. But they go Stukov, they have Hanzo, also 2 great picks for them. And with Stukov, it's immediately, of course, the question, what exactly are you trying to do here? Are we going to see some kind of sniper composition? I don't think that they are necessarily leaning towards Varian here, but they could play it with a Nuburak, for example, if they want to be super aggressive and try to combo that off properly. Maybe Muradin, engage Storm Bolts, you know, and then Stukov following it up with the Lurking Arm. So there's definitely options for them. What we're seeing for the blue team, though, is they're taking Nuburak away from them. And we also have Rhaegar now. The Nuburak pick is also interesting to me because we've seen Dami in the... Oh god, I think it was the second semi-final in the winner bracket, where Dami's team played, and they picked Nuburak for him 3 times in a row. So yeah, Nuburak definitely high up in the priority list for the Korean teams, but also for some players clearly a priority or like a comfort pick. So Genji gets banned. He's already out there. And yeah, with that, what's the final ban for the red team now? So what they're getting rid of is, drumroll, Jojo. Okay, so Joanna is out. I would still love Varian, honestly. If they would just go full on into a sniper comp, as we've seen from so many European teams, it would just work well. You got Hanzo, you have Stukov, that already works quite a bit, and you can add some extra damage there. You, of course, then have to force these team fights too and play around it. Go up against Nubarak, who can Cocoon, so there's a couple of tools against it, but we've seen this a lot. Not as much anymore as we've seen, I want to say 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, but this Varian composition is still a fairly powerful one. But we get Mei instead. Okay, so they're going Overwatch on us here. Yeah, they've done the calculations, boys. More Overwatch, more better. That's just what it is, right? So let's go for the OP. They got the slows therefore. They have Hog at the top. Blaze is banned. Could still go Leoric if you wanted to. Technically, Malthael is an option. Urel. I've actually seen the Space Goat not even once, I want to say, so far. So yeah, not really a big Urel fan. But here comes the Haka, I mentioned him a bit earlier. And we get the Chromester. So, Chromie is in the house, and that leaves us with the final pick for the red team. They need to win 2 in a row if they want to stay in the tournament. House of Doom would be the map where they need to start that comeback and, yeah, bring the games in. So, let's see what it's gonna be. They still need another damage dealer. And the choice is Falstad. We get a global, we get the birdie, Falstad is in the house, Towers of Doom everybody, game number 2 in this best of 3 series in the losers bracket of the Healing League. Towers of Doom, map number 2. On the left, Tychus together with Chromie for the damage as the blue team tries to win this 2-0. We currently have the Haka and a Nubarak up at the front. The Haka, of course, being a huge tool to be used on the side lane and also for that global mobility that he has. And we get Rhaegar as our healer. To the right side of the map, it is Flying Taco as the red team. They need 2 wins in a row. They got Falstad to match the global actions of the Haka, I suppose. Vasto is playing Hogger. And we get Hanzo, Stukov, and Mei to round things out here. So Mei as a main tank. Kind of interesting considering that there are no draft restrictions here. There's no special rules that would force you to think outside of the box. So they really believe in that pick and take her early. So let's see what they can pull off with her, how much control she can really get for the team. They are, of course, pinned down a bit, generally speaking, in this series, because they find themselves in a situation where if they lose this map, they are out of the tournament. There's only 8 teams in total in this one, and they would be the first ones to be eliminated. So, rotations between mid and top lane have already started. We have for Nubarak the Regeneration Master, so he's going to try and get his additional HP together here and all of that. But yeah, Chromie with the Undoral Anomaly is already in. And the camps are up, so teams are going to focus now on pumpkins. Doesn't really seem like anybody wants to go for an early invade and try to take over the opponent's pumpkin camp. But generally, yeah, bit of an easier, smoother way into this particular game. And there's of course a lot on the line. There's in total 3,500 euros of prize money. There's not that many tournaments these days on the Korean server, so when there is an opportunity to make a bit of pizza money, the boys and girls are going to do their best to lock that in for themselves. And the red team, they need to win 2 in a row now. They really need to step it up. They were suffering there. They actually had some really nice team fights towards the end of game number 1 that nearly brought them back to business, but at the end of the day, they weren't even able to take a fort out. Oh, did they? I'm not quite sure. They maybe were able to drop the one at the top, but yeah, either way, it didn't go all that well for them. Here comes the aggression again from Team 0-0 as they are jumping in. The idea, of course, being, hey, let's see if we can take some more of these out. So far, that hasn't really happened. We haven't seen a single kill yet. The bigger they are as the choice on level 4 now for Tychus. And Hanzo with the ignore all distractions. So yeah, he definitely turned his cell phone off. And the Haka's realizing that they got a global as well. So the camp is taken. And Nubarak comes in a little bit too late. And they are going for Vasto and try to take out the Arca, but that didn't work. Instead, we now have Tigers in a bit of trouble. The chicken is flying away, so yep, no chicken McNuggets for them. And we still haven't seen a single kill. 2-3 minutes into the game, triple altar phase is on the horizon, and there we go. So there's the opportunity now to try and make a bit of a play for the 2-1 altars. Always assuming, of course, that there's not a team that walks away with all 3 of them, but I think this is pretty safe considering that the side laners are left alone at the top and are going for the respective altars now. So shots are being exchanged, and now it's all about this bottom of the map. Yeah, and Uberak with 8 stacks so far on the Regeneration Master. Sun's out, guns out. Tigers is coming in and is immediately trying to channel this one through. Honestly, whenever you pick that skin, you should have some extra ability that allows you to blind the opponent, because if you are just watching Tigers in all his glory in this little speedo, then you are blinded for life. I'm not quite sure if this is just a nightmare scenario or if some people are really digging it. But either way, there should be some blinds involved here. He has a blinding presence with his skin. Let's just put it like that. Nobody has claimed this one yet. And we get the static shield for Falstad. And yeah, that might be a kill. It's not quite. Yeah, good old Hanzo is jumping out. But they create a lot of space around that altar. Hogga is already paying attention though. Level 7 talents for both teams. Couple of stuns are coming out. Again, Mei is still dancing with them at the front. The Haka hasn't joined them yet, and Hogga is in real trouble. They're running out of hit points and running out of them quickly, so he's gone. That's eliminated, and now maybe a chance. The Haka has to pop the essence, but talking about popping things, Chromie just pops the birdie. Falstad is gone. And the rest can, thankfully for them, escape, but it doesn't change the fact that it's 2 kills to 0 and another 4 shots fired against the red team. And while they're here, they might as well. I mean, you're already in a position where you can start to take down the opponent's pumpkins, so why wouldn't you, right? Just go in, take them on, and bam, there we go. Pumpkins claimed, 2 kills to 0, and the Haka is all the way back up at the top. So, job well done. Yeah, down to the bottom of the map. By the way, what is this pleb horse action that we're getting from Chromie here? I mean, I already don't respect her because she's just a pretender. She's not really a dragon, she's just faking it. She's like, yeah, I identify as a dragon. I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit because you're not a dragon. No, the self-respecting dragon is taking that form. And then she also takes the pleb horse. I mean, sorry, like, that's, no, just like no on so many levels. A dragon would never just ride a pleb horse. A real dragon would ride a money pig. We all know that. It's just a thing. So, yeah. But then again, the bird in trouble, and he gets out. Yeah, Falstad is not having a good day here. He's just getting hammered into the ground time and time again with all that poke that exists there. And the blue team is really building a lot of this momentum up now. It's like, oof. Yeah, they are looking good. Playing against Chromie here, not a whole lot of fun. So, yeah, they're still poking as best they can, but they lost a fair amount now. They're not far behind in experience, but they lost part of the wall at the bottom of the map. There's a single altar now coming up. And at the top, we got Hogga in position. So, yeah, there it is. Being a minion is a shit job, by the way. I mean, it's really a shitty job. The best that you can hope for is that you're an archer and at some point you interrupt somebody that tries to take an objective. But think about shitty jobs. Like toilet cleanup, shitty job. Being a MOBA minion, really shitty job. So, yeah. When people are talking about bad jobs, then yeah, that's definitely one of them. Don't really want to work on an oil rig necessarily, but like being a minion, I mean, you just literally cannon fodder. So this is quite disrespectful. I gotta say. We need to form a Twitter group or something. The outrage is real. Minions have rights too. Actually, they don't, but that's the problem. So, altar is up. Let's go. We already have the ice wall. Build that wall. And Mei is right there. But now we go in. There's the stun. And yep, it's party time. Seems like May wants to build that wall again. By the way, what the hell is going on there? So Biden is building a wall now too. Last time that Trump tried to do it, it was racist. Is it now racist as well? Americans really need to make their mind up. It feels like every couple of years they're changing their opinion by 180 degrees. So there's some crazy shit happening across the pond right now. That's a little bit bananas if you ask me. But yeah, May, Tassadar, they should be consulted when it comes to building some walls, because both of them are absolutely exceptional on it. So yeah, get that expert opinion in right there. May is already on it, and she is just building one after another. Hers are not quite as durable though. If it gets a little bit too hot, then they're just melting away. I guess you could build a wall towards Canada if you are in America. The one to Mexico, probably not. That just melts away and then you have a puddle and that's it. Shots are fired. Not really a lot more kills here. I gotta say that the teams are really running that little tightrope here, because we have only seen 2 kills. And none in the last few big fights, so there's that. And doing a great job on that. But yeah, up to the top, we have Hogger taking position again. They've taken over an experience, by the way, so they're downing kills, but they have taken over an XP, thanks to Hogger doing his job topside. Now at least a few of these camps have been claimed, but I like the way that the red team is very resilient around this. So they are pressured. They've lost some of the structures. There was no bell tower conversion yet. They still have not gotten a single kill, but they're even in points on the core. They've taken over an XP, and they just might be able to pull something off as Tychus hits the button. What's happening over here? Here comes Odin as he's coming in, and alright. It's a very early Odin pick. Level 13 is also getting closer and closer now for them. Yeah, trying to push them back here once more. And Odin is just hammering this out. I kind of like mechs like this, honestly. We need a few more of those. It just feels like Odin is... There's too many things that really can screw with it. The fact that you can cocoon Odin is just ridiculous to me. There's like too many things. When you have a big mech, you should be unstoppable. You really should be. Maybe change the duration or something. I mean, always pretending here, of course, that we are still getting balance patches. Good joke, I know. One of my best ones so far today. So yeah, but yeah, if you have a mech, you know, that should be instilling fear in the hearts of the opponent, and not just simply force out a disc or something. I mean, what is this shit? Magic against some high techie? No. Double altar up, Hogger channeling in the middle. Wasn't interrupted at all. And while Hogger channeled, yeah, we now have the attack down here. Oh, nice isolation. Can they still kill him? The ice wall is out. And Hanzo just didn't care. May saved him with the ice wall. Looking real good. And they are, I mean, honestly, they are doing better and better here. And we're just waiting for the first kill to happen for the red team. Uh-oh. Stukov! What is it with tech? Like, seriously, this guy just doesn't fucking die. It's crazy. He moved out of another fight with barely any hit points left, the same that we already saw in the previous game. They took down Tychus, they took down Anubarak, and now the imposter is being punished as well. So, yeah, goodbye, Chromie. She gets trashed by Hogger, and that is another altar in favor of Team Flying Techo. All of a sudden, they are taking the lead, and a significant one at that. They've now taken one level lead over the opponent's team. They have Falstad already dominating the top lane, doing their thing here, and things are looking very good right now for them. If they can maintain the control and the momentum that they started to build up, that would be the dream. Bring it to game number 3, try and turn the series around, and come in swinging. That's the game plan for them. 41,000 damage for Chromie, 41,000 for Hanzo. And the blue team has to realize that this is not going to be a walk in the park by any means. Far from it. They have to focus. Really try to get this done now. Now, late game momentum is all that matters on Towers of Doom, but still. 24 points to 32 on the core. And in addition to that, level 16 against them. So that's the next problem. Your Poland already is level 16, and Urak diving out again. Blue team is forced to react a lot. Instead of being the initiators in these fights, they are now all of a sudden the ones that have to react to all of the plays that are being made on the other side. Falstad is sitting at 66 stacks now. We got Hanzo with the piercing arrow and the acclamation from May. on level 16 with Stukov, pokes probably after the pop-in pustules. And yeah, they're looking good. Chromie, of course, with the fast forward already. The stun is missing again, so not only do the 2 stuns miss from the Nubarak as they're aiming for Falstad, but they're also missing out on the Haga's drag. Then the ult from Chromie with the temporal loop. They're just not getting anything out of this. And now, in 1 second, the altar is up. They still don't have a level 16, so if they can poke with Chromie, it would be great. There's a lot of damage done already, so they're low here. And there's level 16 now. That gives us Epic Enter. So they already got that. Tunneling Claws are now in too, and thanks to Odin, they can push them out fairly easily here, and might just be able to also get a kill. So, starting to get this one done. Right. Could they get that hit in? No, me! So low. But she is able to walk away from this. 2 kills to 3. Blue team finally fighting back again. They got the channel and dropped the red team down to 28 points on the core. But yeah, this is definitely a game that we're in for now. I like that. Lots of action now happening. Blue team not giving up, fighting back tooth and nail, trying to battle for position as they have to also defend their top lane because Hogga is pressuring this bell tower more and more and is starting to get closer and closer to maybe convert this over even. Nubarak is hoping that... Ooh, so far they've been hiding this, but yeah, there comes the scout from Hanzo. They're trying to force them back here. Poke this out a little bit. They're already about to take over. Falstad is sitting at the side. Could go for the Ghast, and, well, they give it up. They give up the pumpkins. Hogga is pushing at the top still. They gotta deal with this. The Haka has to deal with this, or they're gonna lose this one. With every single plane, every single minion wave that is being made here, that bell tower loses more HP. Now the bottom bell tower is more important strategically on the map, but they are still far away from converting this over, so it's not really an even game that they're playing. It's not going to be a conversion at the top and a conversion at the bottom the way that this is going. But we have the triple altar phase coming up, so that's going to be the important one. Nobody's really taking a big lead in bell tower control just yet. Question is more so who gets how many points. I guess top left, top right are going to be exchanged again. Unless, of course, they get that kill. They Haka, and they do! Hogga down! Goes into the trap. Falstad trying to interrupt, and he is too late! Yes! He is able to get the interrupt. Oh my god. So the birdie is fighting for this. No! They got it! Did they? No, they didn't get it. They got the bottom now. So it's a 2-for-1 trade after all. I actually don't understand why they didn't contest this. I really don't get it. You have heroes pushing the top. Your opponent is still missing Hogga. Tychus was close. They could have tried to interrupt this a little bit longer and create some space there. But they didn't. Either way, they got 2 out of the 3. Good for them. Both teams now on 20. So, yeah, it's insanely close. Experience lead still on the red team side in their favor. But yes, Nubarak is pushing out. We got 58,000 damage now for Hanzo. 55,000 for Chromie. 56k at this point. And yep, the shots are coming. Half a level until 20. Half a level is all that they need to get to level 20 here. And in the meantime, we have up at the top Hogga taking over again now that he's back on the map. This is gonna get really close, isn't it? We're 16 minutes in and we've only seen 3 kills for each team. That's all that we've had thus far. Chromie on 60,000 damage. She's still playing this battle with Hanzo, who's taking top damage in the game. Tychus is third. There's again the drag. Tychus is coming in for some extra damage, and he's not the only one. They were actually thinking of rotating even more heroes over to try and get a kill here. Not quite able to do it. This could be an easy exchange between bell towers, by the way. Active in another 18. And they hope to take another tower down. But level 20 talents, they're now ready. Okay. What is he doing? A Nubarak with an honorable Sudoku move. Team, the fuck was that? What did they just do? Holy throws, Batman. They're losing Rhaegar and they're losing Chromie. 2 heroes down. At least they got a couple of shots fired. But Nubarak diving in like this was a bit crazy. You don't have level 20, your opponent outnumbers you, and he just goes, YOLO! Goes in, they try to save him, and then both of them die. Yeah. I'm not quite sure what the thought process was there. If they had a lot less vision than we did, but that could have dire consequences for them. Right now, they're doing well because they still have Odin available, so they can defeat those pumpkins. This could have been a lot worse, honestly. If they can even hold those bell towers, that would be the dream. Maybe they're losing the top. There's the attack in the middle now, but that was avoidable. That should not have happened. That was not a good situation for them, and that was unforced. That was an unforced error by the blue team. They completely misjudged the situation, I gotta assume, and then they got punished for it. Now we got the Trader King. I mean, that is an oddly fitting name. He is indeed a traitor. So that was a bit of a treacherous play by Nubarak that he executed. Now they're falling behind in bell towers, and not only did they lose the middle, they are about to lose the top side too. So yeah, this one's gonna hurt. Look at the Haka. He's also in trouble. The Haka with the isolation, trying to move away here. Gets the... Jesus. Damn, son. Gets the drag, and there's a kill. Hogga, trying to jump out, gets away. They retake the middle. This game is nuts. This game is honestly bananas. Nice play here from Dehaka 2. Gets the isolation out, turns it, does not die against 4 heroes, and then the drag, and they get the kill on Hogga. Very well played. 5 versus 4 now, and now they're even trying to get a follow-up kill. But fantastic plays here from Team 0-0. Can they follow up on it, though? Now, Rega is, of course, getting the channel on the left side. I mean, duh. But can they get more? Can they get the boss? Can they get a kill? Can they get this one, too? Ice Wall is already out. Yeah, Chromie is still in a good position for this. They're zoning them as best they can. And pushing into Odin now, of course, is going to hurt. But Falsa is coming in from the side. The Haka is saying hello. Again, the channel happens. And this time, they should be able to get it. Can somebody interrupt here? Yes, they still can. They still can interrupt. 4 seconds for Hogga. They're still trying to go for the channel. Yeah, this time the arrows did not connect. This might be the moment, but no. Got interrupted again. They won't be able to get that altar from the looks of it. Now Hogga is back, and now they need to retreat here. There's the wind tunnel from the back. Once Hogga is there, they decide to go and attack. And who dies first? Seems like Stukov is in dire straits. He goes down. They focus afterwards straight on Mei. She saves herself. Rega is dead. Falstad is low. The arrow connects with 2, and they get the kills. They come in, take the kills. Now Nubarak is the only survivor. Everybody is so fucking low for the red team, but it doesn't matter because Nubarak doesn't even have mana to make a play here. 16 points to 12. They get the channel. That puts them dead even again, but in kills we now have 9-5 in favor of the red team, who's now going straight for the boss in an attempt to drop the blue team into the single digits. Great stuff. That is some awesome shit that's happening right now. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Shots are fired. 8 points to 12. Nubarak, I mean, honestly, his only job right now is don't die. It's his only job. They, of course, need to win another team fight. Don't really know what Falstad is doing. I mean, is he just relying on the wave? He could take this one down very easily if he wanted to. But he's instead going into the middle. A little bit too deep, even. Nubarak is trying to prevent these from coming in. Rega is now back. Everybody's back, and Dehaka is arriving too. Bell Tower is, of course, lost, so it's a 5 versus 3. They still need to. Doesn't change too much, honestly. They still need 2 of them. If Nubarak dies now, that would be pretty dumb. But yeah, he survives. Chromie could go for a timeout here. Arrow is out, soaked by Tychus. Yeah, and play of the game here from Hanzo immediately. So that jumps back out. Dehaka's trying to retake the top as Falstad is busy in the middle, trying to claim another control point. But here we are. These are the moments. What can they do with this now? Next fight. There's a double altar, so they can't lose both. Blue team can still win this, but they cannot lose both of these altars. They have to at least win one. And yeah, Dehaka is a bit slow to this one up at the top. He should still be able to get this one in time. Falstad is actually here now. Dehaka is forced back. There's nobody else coming in. And they're already fighting down at the bottom of the map. The Alters are now up 6-2. 6-2. They're trying to get one early. And it seems like they are able to claim this. So that's 2 shots fired against the red team. Not a whole lot, but at least they denied one Alter to them. And Odin is still alive. The Odin is still active. They're trying to get another one here as well. The bird is still circling around this. Once again, the attack down at the bottom. Cocoon is out. Stukov attack. Chromie. Hogger pulled. And another 2 shots are fired. So now it's 8 points to 8. They're dead even again. They are dead even on core points. Not so much dead even when it comes to control of Alters. But yeah, that arrow was absolutely... I mean, they announced this from a mile away. Here come the heals, though. I cannot believe he's still alive. How are they still alive? And there's the drag, and May is gone. May is gone, and Hogga is dead as well. Oh my god, don't tell me they're actually turning this again. Does the blue team really bring this back? Just think how frustrated the red team is. They were so far ahead, and now all of a sudden they're losing control here. They nearly get the kill on Rhaegar. Rhaegar gets the Self-Ancestral through. He has the Farseer's Blessing, survives through all of it, and now we have an even game in Bell Towers again. 4-4. Boss not back for another 2 minutes, so they can't take that, but they can take a bit more control up at the top. It's insane. It's honestly insane at this point. What is happening in this game? Pumpkins are being claimed all over the place. Dehaka's retaking the top. We're on level 23, 24 minutes in. 100,000 damage for Chromie and for Hogga. Wind Tunnel has to be used, and this might still be a kill. Oh, he gets out. Alright, so he gets out. But they are forcing ult after ult right now. And here comes Odin. They're trying to get the pumpkins through. They're trying to get the pumpkins out. They might have a chance on this. A few of them will connect. First one is already through. How many more can they get here? Another pumpkin makes it. They're down to 6 points on the core right now. Ice Wall against Odin. That's bullshit right there. That's honestly bullshit. Odin, no. That shouldn't be Ice Wall. He breaks through that. It's a mighty mech after all. But the fight continues, and Dehaka gets the channel. The shots are fired, but it's not enough. They're on a single point. On a single point on the core. There's no pumpkin left anymore either. But if they get the kills now, they could maybe go for a boss. The big slaps from Stukov, getting them out of harm's way. But here comes Chromie. May is gone. What a game. Oh my god. Boss up in 30 seconds. May down for a minute. Cams for a minute. Oh. If they can get a few more kills right now, this would be the absolute dream. If they can get additional kills and stagger some deaths on the red team side, that would be the ticket into the game. Only one single shot is needed. Boss in 8. Boss is up in 8. They're already moving to the top. Bit more pressure here towards the right side. This game, it's... They get Hogga. No way. Hogga face checking the bush. Now it's a 5 versus 3. They go for boss. They want the victory. And this is looking great for them. This is the moment. There is no Gust anymore. Gust is out. And this is game. Everybody dead and dying. And with a 2-0 victory, 0-0, moves on to the next round of the new losers bracket and sends the red team packing. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.